Welcome to Truth UnCompromised. I am your host, Rhonda. Join us every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Truth is peace. Truth is justice and freedom to love, live, and be. Music provided by SourceVibrations.com. All right, family. Welcome to the Truth UnCompromised show. I am your host, Rhonda, and tonight is Thursday, June 23rd, so I am happy to be back. I know I had to take a break last week. I was exhausted. I'm trying to balance everything. So I am very excited about the show tonight. If you joined us a couple weeks ago, Brother Wendell put it down on the Book of Enki. I don't even know how far Brother Wendell got, but the information that he gave out of the book was fascinating. We are continuing our creation story myths. We are on part 21, and part of that series was actually the Book of Enki, and so Brother Wendell kind of held it out as long as he could, and so now he's diving deep into that text. So I was highly impressed because it so far, based on the text that I have seen over the years and what we've done with this series, it goes back the furthest in time. So we're going to chop it up tonight and pick back up on that. Brother Wendell will pick up where he left off. I will try to do a summary for those, real quick summary for those that did not join us the other week. And we're going to start out with the news. Now, I know Sis Divinity may join us a little later. She may not. So I know I saw Brother Wendell on the line. Let me bring him on. Here we go. Okay. Okay, Brother Wendell, are you there?
Yeah, you've been on vacation.
I knew you was gonna start some S.
You've been on vacation. You gotta come on away from now.
Ooh, I knew
let's go get it cooking. You know, we didn't get.
I know that's right.
We didn't go past 7 pages.
What, you better stop playing with me. You know what? I forgot to ask you. I said, I wonder how far did we really get that night, because we did about 4 hours worth of stuff. So
I told y'all this thing is loaded. That wasn't even 7 pages of notes.
Dang, man, it's finna be crack-a-lacking then. It is definitely finna be cracking. So I've been looking forward to this. So I definitely, if you can, we'll get into a high-level recap when we get ready to start. So, folks, since, it was my bad for last week, I was just exhausted, family. I had one of those weeks. I just couldn't pull another 24 hours. So we'll do a quick recap for you. But before that, let me try to get to my little notes first. Just want to real quick with the news. I'm just going to try to spend 15 minutes, if I can, with this news, because they showing they behind upon this news. It's been a lot of stuff jumping off.
Hey, Rhonda, I got something real hot for everybody out there.
Okay, well, come on then. Come on with it.
No, I'm gonna let you go and do your thing. I'll follow.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna start right quick, because I've been seeing blaringly jumping off at me. Number one, in the financial world, we got quite a bit of stuff going on. Today, the EU, which that is the European Union, they are actually calculating the votes as we sit here for I want to say the UK, United Kingdom, or Britain, rather, to stay in the European Union, okay? So if you remember, family, we talked about the European Union being nothing but Europe banding together to create a basket of currency. That's how the euro came into play. Well, you know, those of you that have been with us for a minute, we've been talking about the little financial world for quite a bit here, and we've closely been tracking the rest of Europe, how their economies have crashed. You know, Greece was a hot-ass mess. Then you had what they call pigs. Portugal, Italy, Greece, and Spain have all been a mess. And so now Britain, the British people put up a stink and made them put on a referendum so they can vote on to get out of that. So the backstory to all of this, family, is, again, this is the economy crashing itself. So meaning all of these central banks that have set up these fiat currencies that are backed by nothing, this is the chicken coming home to roost. Okay, so we should know by the time we wake up tomorrow if Britain is going to totally leave the EU. I've heard, and if they leave, that is the official collapse of the European Union. I've seen reports that the bankers are trying to manipulate the votes to keep the UK in the European Union, because they know when they jump ship, everybody else is going to jump ship, and then the collapse will continue to fall. I've also seen stuff saying that France wants to put it to vote as well to try to get out of the European Union. So that's one of the issues that's hot in the news, the financial world news, that I wanted you all to know about and to pay attention to, because that is still blaring signs of a collapsing global economy. Now, the other thing that I've consistently been seeing, and shout out to Brother Thomas, I saw on his page where they're showing that Venezuela is having severe food shortages, family. So it's getting pretty bad over in Venezuela. They are another country where their economy has collapsed, and specifically their currency has collapsed as well. If you know the history of that country, they were one time kind of starting to turn around and do well, because they had a leader, Hugo Chavez, and this was back up in the bush in them days, who has started to pull away from the Western control. And so, as they always do, part of the Economic Hitman Diary, right out of that diary, they either make you enemy number one, and or they send people in after to get you to overthrow you. Okay, so Hugo Chavez had hooked up with Gaddafi. So they were all talking back and forth about, you know what, F the West, we're going to start creating our own currencies. We're going to back it up by gold. So Hugo was the first one that they went after, and he had publicly said that Bush and them tried to have him killed, yada, yada, yada. A couple years later, about 2 years later, he wound up getting, quote, quote, cancer, and he passed away. Okay, so ever since then, that country has been on a downward spiral, which that is a classic economic hitman, because they did the exact same similar thing to Gaddafi, which Libya's economy is in a tailspin. So as we sit here tonight, Venezuela's economy has officially collapsed. Okay, so the other thing in the news on the financial world is that two things happen. IMF, Christine Lagarde, drug her leathery skin ass out, I want to say earlier today, and put out a warning to the U.S. court telling them that if they don't get it in order with combating poverty, that it's not going to look good for the outcome of the U.S.'s economic growth. So basically, that's code for letting the investors know, okay, y'all don't have too much longer before the ish is going to hit the fan, okay? So in addition to that, they bring Janet Yellen out. She was in a 2-day testimony before Congress, giving her little regular raggedy-ass update. And she was talking code all over the place. And, you know, in one breath saying she's concerned about the economy. And then in another breath, she's saying job growth is strong. I listened to bits and pieces of her testimony from different clips. And she was clearly sending out signals to folks as well that something big is happening in the U.S. and big moves are going to be made. So I'm just giving you all a high level of what's going on in the financial world. We are still dealing with the bankers that have controlled these corporations, masking themselves as governments, trying to hold on control to these fake currencies, but it's not working. I've seen several other reports that government bonds are coming up due, and these particular corporations aren't able to pay them, and so therefore they're going to be going into default. So just keep paying attention, looking for those headlines for the European Union. When you hear leathery-ass skin Christine Lagarde from the IMF come out and talk about things, and Janet Yellen. So that is still jumping off behind the scenes. So I'm going to pause right quick, Brother Wendell, in case you want to put something on it, because I know I was going a mile a minute. I'm trying to get it all in.
Go ahead. Go ahead and get it in. Go ahead and get it in.
Okay, so we could get to Enki right quick. So the other thing that I just want to go over real quick, I saw something interesting since I didn't get to bring this to you last week. You know I always have to find something at least every other week on Nibiru. Now, this was straight up out of CNN, and this was June 15th. And so it literally says, family, NASA's Kepler discovered Tatooine planet orbiting 2 suns. And then they had the audacity, the little picture that they capture of this planet they call in Tatooine, it's blue. And so it says, although, you know, I got to get my sarcastic voice because they be pissing me off talking in code. Although we will never watch 2 suns rise and fall from the perspective of our own planet. Bullshit, I've watched it, but whatever. Like Luke Skywalker on Tatooine and the iconic scene from Star Wars A New Hope. There's a newly discovered planet where aliens might do so. Scientists have confirmed that an exoplanet named Kepler 1647b is the largest discovered that orbits 2 suns. Exoplanets are those that orbit a star outside of our solar system. I recall us talking many times that they keep talking about a planet, 2 suns, and an entirely new solar system right outside of Pluto. But I'm supposed to be Willie Lump and don't think they're talking about this. But okay, whatever. Though the exoplanet is about the same age as Earth. Now, this is going to trip you out, Brother Wendell. 4.4 billion years old. It's 3,700 light years away and has a mass, radius, and gas composition comparable to those of Jupiter. And then, of course, they throw a Star Wars reference in there. I told y'all don't sleep on Star Wars. They're really in that Star Wars series giving you the true makeup of the galaxy, plus they throw a lot of the creation story myth stuff up in there with the Annunaki and all that. So don't sleep on Star Wars, family. He took that story straight out of a lot of the ancient texts we've been reviewing on creation story myths. Okay, so let me get back to the little article. The stars it orbits are similar to our own sun, though one is slightly larger than the other. Now, those of us that have seen the second sun coming up with our regular sun, that's exactly what we've seen. We've seen a really big sun, and then we've seen our regular sun. Some of us have seen three. So meaning like one that's so huge that it covers, it looks like half the planet. Some say that's Nibiru itself, plus the other sun, plus our regular sun. Okay, so the discovery was announced today at a meeting at the American Astronomical Society. Kepler 1647b isn't the first Tatun-like planet designated circumbinary to be found, but it is the largest, and its orbit is the longest of any confirmed exoplanets. Okay, so now let's peep game here. They said 3,700 light years away. That kind of reminds me of the 2,600 year cycle and the 26,000 year cycle. So they're playing with words with you. Okay. Interestingly enough, now this was really going, as Sis Ahi to say, blow your wig back. The planet lands in the habitable zone, given the nature of its orbit and distance from its stars. This means liquid water might pool on the surface. Because it's a gas giant, this would be possible only if it also has large moons, which we don't know yet. Oh, you do know that it has moons. Stop playing. Okay, so prior to this discovery, all of the known circumbinary planets were the size of Saturn or smaller. Although most of the confirmed 11, I may not be pronouncing this right, circumbinary planets have been discovered using Kepler, millions are expected to exist in our galaxy, let alone in galaxies far, far away. Planets with more than one sun have long captivated our collective imagination, yet direct evidence of their existence has emerged only in the past few years. The researchers led by NASA's Goddard postdoctoral fellow presented in their paper. As important as new discovery of these particular planets is to indulge our basic human curiosity about distant worlds, its main significance is to expand our understanding of the inner workings of planetary systems in the dynamically rich environments of close binary stars. Okay, so I'm not going to read the rest because it keeps talking about that Kepler telescope, this, that, and the third. So once again, family, at least once a month, usually twice a month, I find an article on them supposedly and allegedly finding this solar system with at least two suns, a couple of moons, a huge planet 10 times the size of Earth with other planets trailing it. Again, that is just screaming code for the infamous Nibiru that they're claiming us, quote, quote, conspiracy theorists are saying. So with that, I'm going to yield, Brother Wendell, in case you want to put something on it. If not, we're going to move into Enki.
Hey, they better cut all that conspiracy stuff out, because this thing is for real out here.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
Do you remember that public notice to law enforcement, sheriffs, and elected officials of bar associate members that Judge Annunaki Rice put out there on April the 15th of last year?
Was that the one saying they have no more authority or something? Was it tied to the Pope?
Yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
In 2013, he sounded the alarm that he basically said they coming. Is what he basically said.
They're who coming?
The people are coming. They coming. Oh man, I'm gonna tell you what I found out behind all of that.
Oh boy, let me get myself together. Okay, I'm ready.
You know what might be a good thing?
What?
If I read this thing and then go into that other piece.
Oh, yeah, sure. Do your thing. Do your thing.
Okay. All right. This is what Judge Anna Von Wright, Superior Court judge in Alaska, put out there April 5th of last year.
Mm-hmm.
Take notice. The Roman Curia created the concept of legal fictions, trusts, foundations, and other corporations for good reason. However, legal fictions can be misused. By maximum law, those who create are responsible for their creations. It follows that the Roman Curia is responsible for the proper functioning of all corporations worldwide. As of September 1st, 2013, Pope Francis declared all corporations and corporate officers fully liable for their errors and omissions. This means you talking to public officials, such as law enforcement, sheriffs, elected officials, and bar members. Also, by maximum law, there's no statute of limitation on fraud. Privately owned governmental service corporations have been fraudulently passing themselves off as government of the United States since 1862. The longevity of this fraud in no way imbues it with authority. As an employee of these corporations, you have no public office and no public bond and no foreign state immunity. Federal law enforcement personnel, except U.S. Marshals, your status is that of a mall cop acting outside the mall. You have no authority on the land jurisdiction of the continental United States. You are acting under color of law when addressing citizens of the continental United States as if they were citizens of the federal United States. If you threaten any living inhabitant of the continental United States with a gun, taser, or other weapon, you can be hung as an inland pirate. If you remove any livestock, you can be hung as a cattle rustler. If you cause any harm, you can be sued without limit. If you wear any uniform or display any badge or use any name or office designed to deceive or project authority you do not have, you can be arrested for impersonating an officer. You are acting in a purely private capacity and have only equal civil rights that may be withdrawn at any time. You are also acting under martial law and may face extreme punishment for infractions against the civilian populace. Acts of plunder, mortal violence, and mischaracterization of civilians as combatants are all death penalty offenses. U.S. Marshals are allowed full egress within the continental United States so long as they are sworn and acting as officers sworn to uphold the actual Constitution, are not acting deceptively, nor acting outside their international jurisdiction while in pursuit of their duty protecting the U.S. mail. Lawyers, judges, and court clerks, when you address birthright citizens of the continental United States in the foreign jurisdiction of the federal United States or that of a federal state and deliberately confuse living people with corporate franchises merely named after them, you commit personage. This results in press gaining land assets into the international jurisdiction of the sea, a crime outlawed worldwide for 200 years. It is a recognized act of inland piracy, and it carries the death penalty. Mischaracterizing the identity or citizenship status of a birthright citizen of the continental United States is also a crime under the Geneva Protocols of 1949, Volume 2, Article 3. It also carries the death penalty. Finally, no member of the Bar Association may sit upon the bench of any public court, nor occupy any public office of the continental United States, including Congress. The involvement of any bar member automatically voids all proceedings pertaining subject matter jurisdiction related to the actual land or its assets, including the people of the continental United States. The titles of nobility amendment adopted and ratified prior to the American Civil War has not been repealed. The federal United States and the municipality of Washington, D.C. all operate under the auspices of the United Nations and are signatories of the Universal Right of Self-Declaration.
Anyone claiming to be a citizen of the continental United States having a valid birth certificate must be treated as such. Any debts or charges whatsoever related to vessels in commerce operated under his or her name by the federal United States, any federal state, the Washington, D.C. municipality, or the United Nations must be discharged according to maximum law already cited. You are responsible for what you create. The federal United States and its federal states have created numerous vessels in commerce merely named after living citizens of the continental United States and styled in the form uppercase, lowercase, John Quincy Adams. The Washington, D.C. municipality has similarly indulged in this practice and created franchises for itself named after living citizens of the continental United States styled in the form, all caps, John Quincy Adams. Most recently, the United Nations has created public utilities and is operating them under names styled as, all caps, John Q. Adams. The organizations have created these franchises are completely 100% liable for their debts and obligations without exception and without recourse to claim upon the living people these franchises are named after. You may not presume that the living people have consensually agreed to be subjected to statutory law. You may not presume that they consensually agreed to be obligated for the debts of any legal fiction personas which have been created and named after them by third parties secretly operating in a private capacity and merely claiming to represent the victims of this fraud. This is your due notice that the living people inhabiting the continental United States are presenting themselves and may not be addressed as if they belong to, are responsible for, or indebted in behalf of any legal fiction personas operating under their given names by an international corporation. Any continuance of any such claims and repugnant practices will be deemed immediate cause to liquidate the American Bar Association as a criminal syndicate and to deport its members from our shores. International action is underway to secure the assets and credit owed to the victims. Please read, research, and do your own due diligence. You are fully responsible for obeying the public law of the continental United States, including revised statute 2561 and the Constitution. Please respect the established jurisdiction of air, land, and sea, and be aware that you may be arrested and fined or worse, prepared to do so. Now,
okay.
This see, it's been some stuff brewing the whole time. We know that. So the Pope goes out there and put his little message out. All he was really doing is saying, "They coming, y'all. They coming." Now,
I see what you're saying. When he put the notice out saying that they weren't going to cover their insurance per se. I'm putting insurance in quotations. Okay, I'm with you. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. They coming. He was sounding an alarm for everybody.
And you know, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Now, let me show you how this thing done sure enough ramped up.
Oh, boy. Dun, dun, dun. Let me get the little bomb sign together. Go ahead.
It thing that ramped up so hard. Look, I wonder if anybody out there know this. Every governor in these United States of America have received a letter from the United States of America Department of Travel.
Wait a minute. Come on now. Re-say that again, because I want to make sure Sister Enter and overseeing what the blank you finna go with that. So say it again.
I'm just
I can be slow a little bit, a little tad bit. So read a little slow for a sister.
Okay. Every governor of every state in this United States of America has gotten a letter from the United States of America Department of Travel regarding violation of Supreme Court rulings regarding the right to travel.
It's finna go down. So you know what's happening, right?
Yeah, I know what's happening.
Okay, you get your version, and I'll put my half
The Pope
percent on it.
The Pope already told them they coming.
They
Check
sure
this
did.
out. Check this out right
And
now.
see, I never thought about that he was giving them a warning in that 2013 until you just said it. But go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
All right, this is what the letter says. Just keep in mind, every governor in every state has this letter.
Who
Every
sent
one
the
of them.
letter?
The Department of Travel.
Yeah, okay, you did say the Department of Travel. Let me write that.
Okay. Let me do this right here. Let me show you something. Let me show you something. Let me show you how conniving and slick that U.S. Corp is.
They make me sick.
Everybody knows we have a state DOT, right?
Department of Transportation, yes, sir.
You got a federal DOT, which is how they sell the birth certificate.
Yes.
Through that thing right there. How about they just mirrored what was in place? The United States of America DOT, but theirs is the U.S. DOT.
This is interesting. This is very, very interesting, family.
It's off the chain, man. It is off the chain.
So, Brother Wendell, don't you think that it's, because we know that the U.S. Corp's time is up, they're completely broke. They can't sustain it. That basically now these other groups or whatever are jockeying for position to take it over. And a lot of them are putting back in the U.S. Corp's face, because you all hear the term about folks saying that they're, sovereign, or they with the New Republic, this, that, and the third. These are all these different groups jockeying for position, because everybody knows that the U.S. Court time is up. Number one, the way it was totally set up, they always ran two systems, and I would say three. One that controlled everything, and then the de jure, which is the true state of the law, and then the U.S. Court. So the U.S. Court side is definitely up. And so people are jockeying for position to take that position. And they're using the fact that the U.S. Court was operating on statute and codes versus operating on law and common law. So I think that is what's going on. You're going to see a lot of these groups pop up as either the New Republic. You're going to see a lot of them attach themselves to sovereignty, this, that, and the third. Or you're going to see them attach themselves using the United States in different facets, or you're going to see them use the Americas in different facets. So pay attention.
I wasn't able to find out how long this department has been in existence. But this department is right there on Pennsylvania Avenue in D.C.
And it could be on the de jure side.
They are the de jure side. They are. We were just never told about that. See, this is where all your public officials up there are getting their international travel cards.
Travel document, exactly, which you could get your
They wasn't telling us about.
Exactly.
Nice to hit the fan. Now check this out right here. I'm gonna read this letter.
Oh, hell to the no. Okay, I'm ready.
All right, this is to the governor in Georgia, Governor Deal. Nathan Deal. We are sending this correspondence to make you aware of the unconstitutional acts committed by your law enforcement agencies and state courts against the people of Georgia. These acts may or may not have been committed knowingly or unintentionally, but we are writing you to ensure that these violations are brought to your attention so that they can be addressed and corrected. As you may or may not know, there are people in your state whose status is ostensibly different than the average U.S. citizen,
and are considered foreign nationals or American nationals with certain safeguards and protection under the law. Our primary concern is that their travel rights in your state are not infringed. In order to educate your law enforcement regarding foreign nationals or American nationals in your state, you can call the Department of State here in Washington, D.C. to get clarity, or you can go to the Department of State's website or our website and download the manual. The Department of State also offers training for your law enforcement officers free of charge to raise awareness and compliance. We have enclosed one of our affidavit forms for the exemption of registration and licensing for foreign nationals, and foreign nationals have to file in your state to lawfully claim the exemption. This affidavit also can be used by U.S. citizens who are not driving or operating a motor vehicle for profit or for hire. Please forward this information to all of your law enforcement agencies in your state to prevent any unnecessary lawsuits from being filed against these agencies for not following the law and violating the rights of the people to freely travel without interference unless they are a threat to the public safety. If you have any questions regarding this matter, please feel free to respond in writing by mail or fax any questions or concerns you may have, and we will be happy to answer and address them. Thank you in advance for your cooperation and consideration in this matter. Best regards, North Eisenberg, Foreign National Division. A copy of this was sent to the Department of Justice, Attorney General Loretta Lynch. She knows about it, and to John Kerry. They all know. Now,
it's going
what do most people have problems with? The damn police out here on the highway.
Yep, stopping you, and when you're just trying to travel, you shouldn't say drive, travel, and not only that, you know, a lot of the brothers that claim Moorish nationality, you know, they're real big on not going up under somebody's driver's license. They always use that same argument, and they've been locking them the F up. Although they have,
it
wasn't done right. Exactly.
They weren't covered. So that means somebody deep down in that thing knows what's going on. See, like, I was headed in that direction, like I said. People give you a piece of the information.
And I can't stand that.
Instead of telling you the real deal.
Exactly.
But now all this stuff is coming. This letter was
coming out.
This letter was sent to every governor November 23rd of last year. So they have no excuse for messing with folk out here on this highway. Now, also, they have sent this thing out right here. It's called a fee schedule affidavit and official notice to law enforcement and public officials regarding UCC filings and insurance bond claims.
This is going down.
Please be advised that if any member of this organization is unlawfully kidnapped and or forced into a contract without committing a crime involving a victim, damages, and legitimate witnesses to the alleged crime, commercial invoices and financing statements will be immediately filed with the Uniform Commercial Code against all the public officials / debtors involved, the agency debtors they represent, and the superior office responsible for the conduct of its subordinates. Any violations caused by forced contracts entered under color of law to conspire against the individual non-citizen national or its related trust or estate will be invoiced as, but not limited to, the following: $200,000 per occurrence.
What?
$300,000 per tort fees. Now you got 20 things down here. Deprivation of rights under color of law, USC 242. Conspiracy against the rights of citizens, 18 USC 241. Emotional distress, 32 CFR 536.77A37. Mental anguish abuse, 42 CFR 488.301. Tyranny, unlawful incarceration,
malicious prosecution, 32 CFR 750.23. Defamation of character, slander, libel, kidnapping, 18 USC 1201. Malfeasance, 22 CFR 13.3. Slavery, extortion, 25 CFR 11.417. Robbery, perjury, 18 USC 1621. Subordination of perjury, 18 USC 1622. RICO, that's racketeering for y'all that don't know. 18 USC 1961 through 1968. Violation of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Breach of trust. The lien debtor, that's 20 of them. The lien debtors will be responsible for any IRS obligation resulting from the discharge or cancellation of any debt, as well as earned income resulting from accepted settlements. Norv Eisenberger, Director.
It's going down, y'all. So this is the information that, we would always get in pieces. And when people would teach this different stuff, when folks would try to execute on, driving without a license, and they had a little paperwork, this, that, and the third, and they still get locked the F up, or try to go into their court, which you going under their jurisdiction, but that's a separate story, and, tell them I didn't enter in no contract with you, da-da-da, this, that, and the third, and then they still do what the F they want. So now people are slowly leaking this information out because the U.S. court system is under attack, basically. And I just find it fascinating that the information is coming so fast. And, it used to be the Moors putting out this type of information, or you would get one or two people that would put it out. But now you have different groups that have band together, and they're just flooding this information. Wow. That's interesting.
Anybody want to go and check it out? It's usadot-gov.org.
Okay, I got it down. usadot-ga.org.
No, that's gov.org.
Okay, G-O-V, my bad. G-O-V. Okay, so usadot-gov.org. Oh, hot diggity damn. Okay, I'm going to check it out, brother.
Oh, it's off the hinges. Let me give you just a little bit of what it is. Okay, it don't cost you a little bit of money to do it, but what you do is you change your status. Then you get an ID and a membership. Every seven is good for 7 years. But you have also the opportunity to get a private license plate to stick on your vehicle that don't expire, period. That don't expire, period.
So that totally takes you out of their jurisdiction, right?
That takes you plumb out of it.
Ooh,
and they have this information.
Exactly.
Like I said, a letter was sent to every governor in every state. You can go to their website and see the letters. They got all 50 of them, right? All 52 of them, because they include Puerto Rico and the islands.
In the islands.
They got them all right there on the website. You can go look at every last one of them.
So does this not replace they funky ass licenses?
It take it plumb out. But I had to give you a little warning. You got to be ready to do some things.
Right. Make some little things happen. Whoa. Yeah. That is very, very interesting. So this kind of is the same as what people are saying getting nationalized, but except you're just changing your status. You're not going under so-and-so's particular nation.
Yeah. Well, actually what you're doing is correcting
the labels.
That
makes
sense.
You still gonna have a label per se, but it ain't that kind of label.
Exactly. It's like I'm not in your jurisdiction type label. Go on with that bull S label.
Yeah.
Wow. Woo. Well, thank you for sharing that again, brother. So that's usadot-gov.org. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to be checking it out. I'm going to definitely check it out. Thank you for sharing that. Whoa. Well, on that note, that was a lot. You kind of knocked me down with that one. So I'm going to definitely do a little research on that because that's deep within itself.
Yeah. It's about time, though, because people just get dogged out here on the highways and
just in general, just to drag you into their court to make some fiat off of you, to start up a bond to generate some fiat. That's all it is.
Yeah. Oh, as a matter of fact, I had been trying to retrieve some of the information that I had, and I thought about this one thing regarding the courts. Y'all need to go check out that Judicial Code of 1911.
That's interesting, because a lot was going on around that 1900 mark, right?
Yeah, Judicial Code of 1911. They abolished all the circuit courts, and that's how the federal district courts came about.
Okay,
they replaced them with then the U.S. court came back behind them and set up their own little corporation masculine courts.
Yep.
So all of that stuff is illegal, all of it.
And then, 2 years later, they came in with the Federal Reserve, right? 1913. Oh, we putting the pieces together now. We putting it together. It's pretty much out there now. We already know what they've done, and now people have the full story on how they can set themselves right and not even deal with their asses at all. And that's what it's gonna take to collapse them.
I'm gonna tell you what, it's all good on the surface, but it's the work.
I'm sure they ain't gonna make it easy.
It ain't easy to sound.
No, they never do make it easy. Are you kidding? They're never going to make it easy. Yeah. That's interesting.
But everybody out there need to know what's going on. They got manuals that you can download and all kinds of information to tell you how they breaking the law and all that stuff.
This is interesting. This is real interesting. And, with all of this that's going on with, these different groups coming out, claiming that they're sovereign or stepping up saying they're the new republic this and the de jure that, I've noticed that this fake-ass presidential election gets more bizarre, and then you got the false flags with the Orlando stuff. So they're really pulling out all the stops. But at this point, the train is rolling so fast that it can't be stopped because it's coming from all levels, and everybody's jockeying for position. So just sit back and get your popcorn because this shit finna get real interesting.
Yeah, it is. It's off the chain.
It sure is. Well, thank you for that, brother. So now, you want to get into Enki? You want to just give us a high level? I can't believe that we only covered 7 little pages.
And we didn't cover. It was almost 7.
I thought we had at least got a chapter up under our belt.
No, baby, I got 138 pages of notes.
Oh.
I kept telling y'all this thing here out of sight.
Wow.
Everything right here show you what everything we doing today is where it come from.
Man, oh man. Well, I know I was looking forward to it. I pulled some little stuff, and Oracle Tahuti was going to join us tonight. I think he got tied up. I think he said he's tied up at work because he'll bring it to us next week, the perspective of Enki from the El Holy Tablets perspective. But on Enki, you know, they also broke a nice little thing down on him in a couple places, but the one that kind of blew my wig back was Wikipedia. So those of you that aren't familiar with him, I'm just going to get this real high level, and then I'm going to stop because I know Brother Wendell going to have a lot to put on it. So this is for those of you who aren't familiar with Enki. And so Wikipedia is saying Enki, Samaria, is a god in Sumerian mythology, later known as Ea, in Akkadian and Babylonian mythology. He was originally patron god of the city of Eridu, but later the influence of his cult spread through Mesopotamia and to the Canaanites. Now that blew my wig back, Wendell, on the Canaanites, Hittites, and Hurons. He was the deity of crafts, mischief, water. We got to talk about this water situation. Water, sea water, lake water, intelligence, and creation. He was associated with the southern band of constellations called Stars of Ea, but also with the constellation AS, I guess it's Aski, the field. Oh, okay, the square of Pegasus. I didn't know that. Okay, beginning around the second millennium BCE, he was sometimes referred to in writing by the numeric ideogram for 40. Now that tripped me out too. Occasionally referred to as his sacred number. So I'm going to stop right quick. Those of us that kind of studied on the Kemetic level and you followed how they taught in the Kemetic ways, you did not become a master in your studies until you reach 40. So now this is really, really interesting that they are linking the number 40 as a sacred number and linking it back to Enki. That's very interesting. I never knew that. Okay, so it says the planet Mercury associated with Babylon, Nabu, the son of Marduk, was in Sumerian times, identified with Enki. A large number of myths about Enki have been collected from many sites stretching from southern Iraq to the Levantine coast. He figures in the earliest extinct... What? Damn, Oracle Tahuti, you need to be here. Cuneiform. Oracle Tahuti just told us that the language of the Galactic or the Annunaki was cuneiform. Damn. Okay, he is figured in the earliest extant cuneiform inscriptions throughout the region and was prominent from the 3rd millennium down to the Hellenistic times. The exact meaning of his name is uncertain. The common translation is Lord of the Earth. The Sumerian En is translated as the title equivalent to Lord and was originally a title given to the high priest, Ki meaning earth. But there are theories that Ki in this name has another origin, possibly Kig, of unknown meaning, or Ker meaning mound. The name Ea is allegedly Huron in origin, while others claim that his name Ea is possibly Semitic origin and may be a derivative of the West Semitic root He, meaning life, in this case used for spring, running water. In Samaria, Sumerian, Ea means the house of water, and it has been suggested that this was originally the name for the shrine to the god of Eridu. Okay, so you could go on Wikipedia if you're not familiar with the myth of Enki or Enki. It does a pretty doggone job getting you started on a lot of things that's associated with him. So I did want to just give that quick breakdown for the family that had never even heard of the concept of Enki. So, okay. So with that, I yield back to you, Brother Wendell. You take it away the way you wish. If you want to give a high-level recap or you want to get it crack-a-lack into the where we left off, it's totally up to you.
I just say this. On the last call, we went through the celestial battle. That's when all the planets were created and were put on their courses, per se, in orbit. And at that point, Alelu had landed on Earth, and he was kind of reminiscing on the stuff that he had learned before he came to Earth.
Right, and Alelu and Anu had threw down or whatever, and Anu had wound up winning.
Yeah.
So Alelu was like deuces, right? He got up out of there.
Yeah, okay. he got on up out the planet and feel that he was gonna get done like he did the previous king. He killed the other king because he couldn't make decisions to help the planet. So he run him up in the tower, and they got in a struggle. He threw him out the tower and killed him. And he went and sat down on the throne and claimed himself king.
Right.
Okay, here we go.
Here we go.
This is when Alelu crashed on land. Okay, Alelu crashed on land at the edge of the marshes, and he put on his eagle's helmet and his fisher's suit. Okay, we got a question right off the rip.
Oh, hell no. His eagle's helmet and fish suit, you say?
Yeah, is this a pilot's helmet and some type of diving suit?
That's what I want to know, because you know they always associate Enki them with water.
Yeah. But hey, look at here. That poke wear that hat like a fish, don't it?
Don't Pimpalicious wear that fish hat? Sure do. Sure do. And they want to say it's representing Christ.
Y'all got to understand who.
Fish, but it goes back further than that.
Y'all gonna get a real picture of who these people are worshiping. Y'all gonna get a real picture of this thing right here.
You're gonna learn today. Exactly.
All right, the ground was dark colored, the skies were blue-white. No sound. He was on Earth alone, and perhaps exiled from Nibiru forever. He leaves his spacecraft to take a look around. Then he goes back to get a bite to eat, and he goes to sleep. So when he wakes up the next morning, there was a brightness outside never seen on Nibiru. This is the sunshine. He extends a device from the hatch of the spacecraft that analyzed the planet's air. It was compatible to the air of Nibiru. He gets out of the spacecraft, and the sunshine is so bright, he goes back in his spacecraft and put on a mask for his eyes. Now, let me ask you a couple of questions right here.
That's sunglasses, but go ahead.
Yeah, is this the first account of sunglasses on this planet?
Exactly.
Okay. Now, he got some kind of device to test the air quality. Now, these little weathermen got to think their little air quality thing is something new. You see what I'm saying?
These little weathermen. Right.
And we have, look, the kicker is, we still have no idea how long ago that was.
True that. True.
So this technology we got is old.
Oh yeah. We're so behind. It's disgusting. Absolutely. Absolutely.
But see, nobody wants to tell anywhere close to the truth where we got all this stuff from.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right.
Agreed.
All right. We got the sunglasses for the first time on Earth, and we got an air quality device.
Check.
On
right.
Earth. And we got a pilot's helmet and a diving suit.
And my thing is, why did he think he needed a diving suit? You see where I'm going?
You're gonna
find out. Okay.
You're gonna find out as we go. You're gonna find out what you feel as we go.
Okay.
See, I ain't gonna skip all over this because I'll be defeating the purpose. Because you gotta get this. You gotta go down through it to get the full picture.
Got you.
All right. After he put on his sunglasses, he picks up a sampler and he heads for the marshes. Now, where he had landed was right there at the top of the Persian Gulf, where the Tigris and the Euphrates come together at. That's where he landed at.
I know you've talked about that several times.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He discovers fish in the dark green waters and uses the sampler and discovers that the water is not fit to drink. So what does that mean?
Well, that means that, number one, now this just Rhonda's little 1.5 cents. That number one, that his system had to be very similar to our system, so it must have been salt water.
Thank you. There you go.
Okay.
All right. But we still got a question. Now, he done pulled out another device. So he pulled out a sampler to test the water. True that. That's where we get that from, I reckon.
True.
All right. He then goes toward the hills and discovers a place like an orchard laden with fruit trees, which he ate and enjoyed. He noticed a wetness on his feet and he followed it. There was a pool in the middle of the forest, and he tested water, and it's drinkable, which means it's fresh water. He had a different taste from the water on Nibiru, so he drank from the pool. As he was drinking from the pool, he hears a hissing sound and a slithering body by the pool side. He pulls out some type of ray gun and kills what he described as being a snake. Now here's the sequence. A hissing sound he could hear. A slithering body by the pool side was moving. His carried weapon he seized. A blast of his ray toward the hissing he directed. The moving stopped. The hissing was ended. To examine the danger, Leilu stepped forward. The slithered body lay still. Dead was the creature, a sight most strange. Like a rope his long body was, without hands or feet was the body. Fierce eyes were in its small head. Out of its mouth a long tongue was sticking. A sight on the Nibiru never beheld it was, a creature of another world. Is this speaking of events and encounter by Leilu in the Garden of Eden?
You know, that's interesting because I was thinking the same thing. So are they trying to say a Leilu was the one that was in the little garden, this, that, and the third, that ran across the snake?
He was there first. He was there first. See, everybody want to say Enki was here first, but now Leilu was there the first Nibirian on this planet.
Very interesting. But animal life was already here.
Yeah. That's why I kept telling y'all it goes back a whole lot further than here. All this thing goes way back. Way back. All right, here's an excerpt. You can't skip the excerpt because it's too much information. The title I gave to this excerpt is Leilu witnesses the knowledge he had learned from Anshagal and Anshar. These were the ones that taught him all his knowledge about the stars. I just put it like that to make it short. In his carrot flask, he some water collected. With alertness to the chariot, he made his way. The sweet fruits he also picked. To the chariot, he set his course. The brightness of the sun's rays was greatly diminished. Darkness it was at the chariot he reached. The shortness of the day he pondered. The shortness him amazed. From you see how the thing read? You got to.
Yeah, wait a minute, because you kind of like la 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 la.
Well, I know what it's saying.
But I'm trying to pick it up though, because you saying that they said that he said that the days are shorter here. Is that what I heard you say?
Yeah.
Or did I?
We gonna get to all of that.
Go ahead.
Stuff right
Go
there.
ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Ain't gonna get to all that. All right. A white hue ball in the heavens was quickly rising. Kingu, the earth's companion, he now beheld. For in the accounts of the beginning, his eyes, the truth, could now see. Now he's seeing that what they taught him was real. So see, he's thousands and thousands of miles away from the Biru.
Right.
Now he's down here on Earth Key, and he can see all the stuff that they were teaching him that he couldn't see. All right.
Man,
what in the accounts of the beginning, his eyes, the truth could now see. The planets and their circuits, the hammered bracelet, Key and Earth, King who is moon, all created were. All by names were called. In his heart, Alele knew one more truth, a beholder needed, the goal. The means of salvation to be found was needed. If truth be in the beginning tells, if by the waters the golden veins of Tiamat were washed, in the waters of Key it's cut off half, gold must be found. Now, see, he remembered back to what we discussed a couple of weeks ago, that celestial battle, when Tiamat got her top piece cut off.
Oh, that's right.
And her gold veins were showing.
That's right. That's right.
See, they taught him about all that stuff. Now he's seeing it and he's getting ready to experience that. With hands unsteady, Alelu, the tester from the chariot's pole, dismounted. With trembling hands, the fishing suit he donned. The fast arriving daylight, eagerly awaiting. At daybreak, the chariot he exited. To the marshes he quickly stepped. Into deep waters he waded. The tester into the waters he inserted. Its illuminated face he eagerly watched. In his chest his heart was sounding. The water's contents was the tester indicating by symbols and numbers, its findings disclosing. Then Alelu's heartbeat stopped. There's gold in the water, the tester was telling. Unsteady on his legs, Alelu stepped forward, deeper into the marshes. He made his way. Again, the tester into the water inserted. Again, the tester announced gold. He was elated about that. Now, we got our little metal detectors. Thinking we doing something.
Right.
Man, that's old. This cat had something. He had an electronic thing to tell him with a screen on it, I reckon, what was in the water. If there was gold in the water.
And you know, as you were reading that and you were just talking about him pulling out his little device to search for the gold, a thought just came in my head. Here is how far back it goes with the fascination of this so-and-so gold.
Yeah.
It goes back millions and if not billions, if not this story is in the billions of years of folks from other planets being fascinated with gold. So, okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But see, in their case, according to the tablets, keep in mind, this stuff is on real live artifacts you can go put your hands on.
You mean the Sumerian tablets?
Yeah. They got these artifacts are all over the place over there in the British Museum and everywhere over there in the Middle East. They got these. There's so many of those tablets. I was listening to one of Zechariah Sitchin's interviews, one of his old interviews before he passed away, and a guy asked him at the end of the interview, what did he think about the future of, exposing more of that information from those tablets. And he said, I wish there was a lot more people that would take the time to learn cuneiform and go dig this stuff up and put your magnifying glass on it and read it.
Wow.
Now, that's coming from him, in other words, telling you
that's the only way you can read it is with a magnifying glass. So he wasn't playing. He put in a lot of time with magnifying glasses.
And he knew how to read cuneiform.
Yeah, he knew how to read cuneiform. See, what he did is, before he really got out there, he learned cuneiform and he learned Hebrew. Those were the first two languages.
Because supposedly Hebrew could be tied back to, help me out here, metaneta. So now metaneta came after that. That came after that. But after I know cuneiform, right? Wasn't it cuneiform, metaneta, Hebrew?
Cuneiform was first.
Right.
Everything else came after that. But see, metaneta, that came later.
Oh,
that
came later. Hebrew?
Because you ain't even talking about. You're not even talking about Egypt at this point.
No, I know we're not. No, we're not.
You see what I'm saying?
Through that. No, we're not even at that point.
That was way on down the road.
Okay, I'm with you.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
That was way on down the road. All right. So he goes back to his chariot and takes off his fishing suit and sat in the commander seat, and the tablet of destiny that knows all circuits, he crunked that up. He turned it on to Nibiru circuit to find the direction. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. He got a device in his little spaceship that he can turn on and look at where Nibiru is in its orbit.
Oh, hell no. That's a hell of a device. If you said it's thousands of years old, and I'm going to have to look it up. How far do they say their orbit is? Is it 3,600?
That's 3,600. It's 37. It's 3760. You know, some say 3750.
Okay.
They started counting time based on their orbit on Earth.
Oh yeah, you did break that down one time.
Yeah. We gonna go back over that. But see, they got all this stuff, man, and we down here tripping, thinking we got something.
Yeah, like we doing something big.
Man, I don't know how far hand down that is. We got.
Well, you know, like they say, you know, people want to use the term ghetto or whatever.
Yeah.
So the stuff that they call themselves using is very ghetto compared to, you know, millions, if not billions of years ago. Yeah. And, you know, as you're describing this, Brother Wendell, you know what movie popped in my mind?
Oh, I got something for you on that. We got something coming on there, too.
Okay, because I thought about the Will Smith movie that didn't do too well.
Oh, man. Oh, don't count that out.
Yeah, so that's what
I got something.
Go ahead. I ain't going to blow your thunder. You just take it away.
It's coming. Just hold on. It's coming.
Okay, I got you, bro. Go ahead.
All right. After he turns that instrument on, he turns on the speaker of words, is what they call it, toward Nibiru, the words to carry. Now,
wait, he did what? Say that again.
He turns on, after he turns on the tablet of destiny, he turns on what they call speaker of words. And he turned it toward Nibiru. It's just a satellite or some kind of intercom. What the hell is it? Some kind of telecommunication equipment.
Wow. 3760 light years away.
We don't know how far away it was.
We know it was past Mars now, because when you talk about
way past Mars.
So he sent that signal out past Mars, Pluto, and all them.
Yeah, the people go way on out there.
Wow.
Yeah. Then he sent the word to Nibiru, let him know that he have found the gold. Now when that ends the second tablet. Now let's go to the third tablet. When Anu heard the words of Alelu, he was in disbelief and wondered if he had hidden himself somewhere on Nibiru. He called the commanders of chariots and servants to investigate. They determined that the words were coming from beyond the hammer bracelet, which is the asteroid belt, and tells them to send words of acknowledgement back to Alelu. These were his words. I knew the king to you his greatly sins, of your well-being to learn his pleas. For your departing the bureau, there was no reason. Enmity is not in Anu's heart. If gold for salvation you have indeed discovered, let Nibiru be saved. Alelu responds by telling the council to pronounce him king in place of Anu. See, that was his plan all along. So they wondered if he was really being truthful about what he was and his finest. And they called the sages for their consultation. The oldest one of them was Anshar, who tells them that he was Alelu's master, in other words, his teacher, and that Alelu has knowledge of what he has told him. See, this is the one. Anshar was the one that took him to the next level on his learning. Okay. He taught him all the upper level stuff that he knows. Got you. So that's why this old. Yeah. See, Anshar is the top. He's the top astrologist, numerizes all that stuff on the planet at that time. Yeah. So he tells them that if Alelu has journeyed beyond the hammer bracelet, then Earth, the seventh planet, is indeed where he is. So he confirmed that ain't no way he could be telling that if he wasn't there. Right. Yeah.
Whoa. So basically, Anu, just a real quick recap, because him and Alelu had battled because Alelu was sitting in that little seat because it was a dispute on who really should be sitting in that seat. So Anu and Alelu headed out. Alelu lost, and he peace out. Based on his knowledge that his master teacher taught him, he knew how to get to planet Earth. So he hear whatever, he discovers the gold, so he sends out the little signal with his device, and so then Anu he where? He a damn lie. Wait a minute. Let me have such and so check. So once he validated it, then Anu wanted to change his story. Oh, you didn't need to leave Nibiru. So now he wanted to get back in his good graces because they need that gold to repair their atmosphere. Yep. Okay.
But he knows Alelu anyway. Because you got to remember, they are actually kinfolk.
Right. Half brothers or something?
No, they were something like, I'd say third or fourth cousins or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, because his father was he came off of two of the sons of An, and later on Anu came up off the third son. See, that's how it went when the kingship was going down for the succession. It was you could be the second or third son, but however many children or men in between, you would have to wait till your turn. However that thing twists and turns, you would have to wait until your turn.
Right, because the king was dipping and dabbing with side women and all of that situation.
Yeah, and they ended up changing the law so that son could actually take the throne and all that. So, but they found out that they were really kinfolk, and then I ain't gonna tell you that. I just
okay, that's okay. That's okay. So I just want to make sure that I had the story straight, and the family got the story regards to their relationship. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Then a son of Anu and Antu in Leo meaning Lord of the command, speaks up and says that Alelu cannot speak of conditions because he had forfeited the throne to his father Anu when he was defeated in the wrestling match. And he adds that if Alelu had really found the gold of Tiamat, they needed proof, and also they needed to know if it was sufficient to protect the atmosphere of Nibiru, and how was it going to be transported through the hammered bracelet and brought to Nibiru. This caused the rest of them to start asking questions. See, Eliel was real good about asking them questions to pique the interest and get people thinking about he's the smart guy. Alelu agrees to send the proof. He takes the crystals out of the tester and the sampler and inserts them into the speaker to transmit his findings.
Hell to the no.
When he does that, he demands kingship. Now, hold on just a minute, folks.
Let's talk about this device. He took what? He took what to do what?
He took the crystals out of the tester and the sampler and inserts them into the speaker to transmit his findings. Now, what the hell kind of device was that?
Exactly. And they going to tell us that we can't travel, but he just set up here and just sent gold? 30. He
done sent samples out of space to his home planet from Earth.
Hell to the no.
all with the power of crystals.
Exactly, and that's what I don't want people to sleep on.
But you got to remember something now. Those crystals ain't from Earth. Those crystals come from the Nibiru.
Oh, true that. Okay. I'm going to give you that one. Okay.
Well, it couldn't have come from Earth because he just got here.
Right. So I'm going to give you that. So it's no telling what the components are made of those particular crystals. Okay.
Ain't no telling what's going on with that right there. All right. So I hope the listeners are getting a real good idea that this thing here ain't no joke.
It's really not, because he stepped up off of the ship with stuff.
Yeah, if you are interested in where you possibly truly could have come from, who your possibly true ancestors really are, and where we get all of this technology we have today, and it's being rationed out to us.
I mean, at such a slow so-and-so pace, it's disgusting.
Oh, man, it's going to get even gooder than that on down in here. You wait till I get to the part where they were setting up the kingships on Earth. You wait till we get to that part. It's going to show no trip, y'all. It's going to piss you off, really.
And so the drama begins, so go ahead.
All right. The sages think about the damage Alelu caused on Nibiru with the weapons of terror. Because remember, he had, when he was king, he had to come behind Unshagal. Because he couldn't make no decisions, so he did what he did to try to, to save the planet.
Right, but it kept deteriorating because he couldn't make no decisions. Right.
Yeah, and what he did is he was taking the nuclear weapons and shooting the volcanoes with them, trying to make the volcanoes erupt, because remember, the volcanoes was actually protecting their atmosphere. And without the volcanoes erupting, then their atmosphere would deteriorate. They didn't have no protection. That's why they were trying to get the gold.
Right.
Yeah. All right.
Whew. All right.
All right. The sages think about the damage he caused and the use of the nuclear weapons to get past the hammer bracelet, because that's what he used to get through the asteroid belt to make it to Earth. He used nuclear weapons to blast his way through. That's how he got through
Okay,
that.
so just stop right there. Just bear with me a little bit. I'm finna play devil's advocate. So you call it the Hamlet belt, right? Which is really just the asteroid belt. We call it the asteroid belt now. So
yes, the
now,
asteroid belt. Back at that time, the tablets call it the hammer bracelet.
Okay, they call it the Hamlet bracelet, but we call it the asteroid belt today.
Right.
So now, if Alelu had to maneuver his way through there with the nuclear weapons, this, that, and the third, this, that. So tell me how the United Snakes went to the moon with this regular-ass equipment they got.
You tell me.
I'm just saying.
Well, you gotta remember something. You gotta remember something. Let's get a good picture of this. The moon is right next to Earth.
Yeah, it is right next door.
Then you go past that, and you come to
Mars, right?
Mars.
Mm-hmm.
Then after Mars is the asteroid belt.
That's right. Okay, that's right. It starts right there.
Yeah. The asteroid belt is between Mars and Jupiter.
That's right. Okay, I still don't feel they went when they say they went and how they went. But okay, I'm gonna get a raggedy selves that. Okay.
Okay. Well.
Sorry if I made you lose your place.
Okay. I'm back. All right. The fact that when the Nibiru was in its circuit, it passes by that region. See, they thinking about how destructive this dude can be. If they thinking about him with those nuclear weapons because he got on a spaceship that had the nuclear weapons on it.
Oh, he sure did. Mm-hmm.
And see, now he done said, I found the gold.
Sure did. Mm-hmm.
They want proof of it, but somebody smart in the background said, hold on now, this fool got those nuclear weapons.
You better not be effing with him.
Yeah. So see, at this point, the kingship was a serious matter because they had a sole loser attempted to extort the throne.
Like, I got the gold.
Yeah.
And so, therefore, I got some demands that I can make.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. This is deep.
But see, that shows an inkling of the behavior we possibly could have got from them. Cause that's
exactly what I'm thinking, where we get the behavior from, because everybody running around even today about gold and I got the gold, therefore I got the power. It's the same freaking stuff all over again. But anyhow, go ahead, brother.
It go get deeper and deeper. All down in there, it get crazy. All right, then Enki. Eel was the first name that he had. E.A. That was his title. Eel.
Okay.
He was the firstborn son of Anu, and his mother was a concubine. And his name means whose home is water.
So they even say that's his name. Stitchin even say that's what his name means, rather.
This is Stitchin talking. This is Stitchin's book right here. And he was the son-in-law of Alelu.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, see, he married Alelu's daughter.
Okay.
Yeah. So he proposes letting him resolve the conflict, because he married Dalkina for the purpose of bringing about unity between the clans. Remember back when they was having the wars against each other on the planet, they had to figure out a way to straighten things out and get peace. So they decided to let somebody, whether it be female or male, somebody from the north marry somebody from the south to cut all that mess out.
And don't we do the same stuff
Same thing.
Here today that, we're going to bound us together, bound our kingdoms together through marriage. Same old crap. So anyhow, okay.
Yeah. So he makes the suggestion of let him be the emissary to Lelu, and he would go to Earth and verify that what Lelu had presented to them was actually true. He tells everybody that he'll use water to cut a path through the asteroid belt and not fire. And he also tells them he will obtain the gold and make sure it is sent in the Nibiru. He further proposes that while the sages are waiting to make a decision about kingship on the Nibiru, let Lelu be the king on Earth. Also, if it would save the Nibiru, let a second wrestling match occur for the kingship on the Nibiru. So he goes setting up this whole thing because they all know what Lelu is about. They know how he is. And he knows, and see, Enki knows that he ain't gonna beat Daddy. He ain't gonna beat him. He already know that.
He done whooped his butt once, and he can whoop it again.
Yeah. See, they know it. All right. The princes, counselors, sages, and commanders all agreed to the proposal laid out by Ea/Enki. Anu also agrees with the wise solution to the conflict, and the words of Ea were sent to Lelu, and he agrees because that's his son-in-law. Anu agrees to it in the assembly, and Lelu speaks up in objection to the proposal. But once the king decrees a thing, it is unalterable. Is this the first account of some type of treaty between Earth and another planet?
Hell to the no! Hell to the no!
It was a proposal, and there was an agreement. They had a conflict. There was a proposal. There was an acceptance of it. They had a treaty.
Damn.
Is that the origin of a treaty?
I would imagine that it is. That's deep. So he was given a treaty to Earth, or Ki at that time.
Yeah. Yep.
That's deep.
All right. Now that makes you think.
Yeah, my mind is like spinning.
That makes you think. Because, like I said, as we go down through here, there's nothing new under the sun. I just put it like that.
No, nothing new. As above, so below.
I mean, it's off the hinges. All right?
Wow.
Okay. Now, Ea goes to the place of the chariot, which is the spaceport on Nibiru, and consults the commanders and the sages. At the same time, he made a tablet of destinies for the mission. He spends 1 shar planning and 1 shar making preparations for the mission. All right. A shar is 3,600 years.
Okay, because that's what I want you to get to, brother, because you had broke the little shard situation down before. So
remember when Anshagar was the king, he broke the shar up into 10 periods. In other words, he broke the shar down from 3,600 to 10 360-year months.
Is that where we get the 360 degrees?
That's where we get the 360 from. That's where we get that from. Now, that means Lelu at this point been on Earth for 7,200 years by himself.
Dang.
But the question is, hell, how old was he when he got here?
True.
We have no idea. We have no idea.
Wow.
All right, so after them 2 shars of planning and putting things together for the mission, they fitted the largest celestial chariot they could, which was an interplanetary spacecraft, with the necessary equipment for the journey. and Ea created the tablet of destiny for it. Let me ask this question. Is the tablet of destiny being used at this point as a map or a GPS-like device or a built-in map quiz?
Now that's deep. That's deep. It was probably like
all
you
three.
said, Google Maps. Probably.
But see, theirs was on a whole nother level. Because when they used that tablet of destiny, it had all sorts of uses, but the main use was it was like a map of the universe for them.
Yeah. Hell no. And here Google think they balling and shot calling. Hell no. Because isn't that what Google call themselves doing now with, you know, Google Earth, and you can download it and you can point it to the constellation. So they done set up and stole that from Malelu now.
No, they didn't gave it to them, see?
Yeah, they didn't gave it to. I agree.
They done ration out, let them have it right about now. You know what I'm saying? So they can see them coming.
Absolutely. They like, well, you know what? We're going to go on and give y'all this because we finna swing back around there in orbit.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Now, the right time for departure was selected by stargazers.
Oh,
right.
So
okay. No, are those the first astronomers that we know of?
Exactly.
Is that where? Is that where we get this little thing when we say we finna launch a spaceship or whatnot to go wherever? Then you have to do it at the right time.
You sure do. Wow. And not only that, do you think also that is why, you know, because all of the energy on this planet is governed by those constellations. So were they on Nibiru also doing the same thing? So saying based on the particular constellation, what house we in, this, that, and the third would determine when we're going to do certain things.
Right. Yeah, we're gonna
interesting.
We're gonna get to a real good breakdown of that later on.
Okay.
All right. Multitudes of Nibirians gathered at the spaceport as the heroes boarded craft, each carrying an eagle's helmet and a fish's suit. And Ea was the last to board the craft, and he acknowledged his family first. He received the blessing of Anu's father, hugged his mother, Ninlul, Ninlul, a concubine. She wishes him a safe trip. He hugs and kisses his spouse, Damkina, locks arms with Enlil, his half-brother, as Enlil wishes him success. Upon his command, the mothership depart for Earth. Now, Anzu, meaning he who knows the heavens, was specially selected as the commander/pilot of the celestial chariot. They traveled 1,000 leagues before they came and approached Gaga/Pluto. All right, a league, I looked that up, a league is about 3 miles. U.S. 3 miles. That's 3,000 miles. They were pretty close to that planet.
They're very close.
Quick. Yeah, because you think about it, 3,000 miles ain't nothing. That's a little bit wider than the United States.
So you were saying that they were 3,000 miles outside of Pluto? Because that's Gaga, right?
Yeah. See, you got to remember what they just said happened. They waited till the right time before they left. So in other words, they were waiting until they were closest to the back end of our solar system if possible.
Got you.
So they could shoot straight on in.
Okay, so based on that orbit. Okay, got you.
Right. All right, they traveled 1,000 leagues before Gaga/Pluto came out to greet them and show the way to the blue hue Antu, which is Neptune. Anzu admired Neptune and wanted to examine her waters. Now, see that? Now, listen here. There goes some knucklehead. He always want to look at something. You know what I'm saying? He wants me to check her out. You know?
Exactly. Like when you car ride with somebody and somebody always got to stop and get some snacks. And you trying to get to where the hell you trying to go.
Yeah. See, we got the same mannerisms they have.
Exactly.
Same thing. All right. It tells you to keep it moving, and that it is a planet of no return. The next in line was On. That's Uranus. Mm-hmm. The tester's beam indicated that they could stop for water if need be, but they continue on the journey. Hold on.
How they know they could stop for water?
They got a tester. They could beam down there and tell them there's water on it.
Dang. But yet they gonna try to make us sit up here and believe today that there's no water on these planets.
Well, look, now you sort of getting the idea of why I've been telling y'all. This is why I don't nobody touch this book.
So they just confirmed that it's water on there.
It unclosed all the lies these folks been telling. I believe that's why I don't nobody touch it. Because you got to come to the realization that there's been a whole lot of lies and a lot of them been involved in the lies.
Yeah, a whole lot of lies. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's Neptune.
Now that was Uranus.
Uranus.
Yeah. But see, they flying by this planet and got something they could just shoot over there like a metal detector or something, and it'll say yes, water on there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but we're gonna get to the real water.
That's where we stop, basically.
Yeah, we're gonna get to the real reason why they were doing that. All right.
Okay.
As they approach Anshar, which is Saturn, they fearfully admire his colored rings as they felt his ensnaring pull, which is gravitational pull. Anzu avoids any danger and continues on. Next, they approach Kishar, which is Jupiter, described as giant. As Anzu diverted the chariot's course to avoid her overpowering net pull, he thrusted lightnings at the chariot. She thrusted lightnings at the chariot. After Kishar, Jupiter was the hammered bracelet, the asteroid belt. Now, this is an excerpt right here. They return to what they call the place of the balance, which is the asteroid belt. Beyond the fifth planet, the hammered bracelet were lurking. Ill his handiwork to set a whirring command, the water thruster to prepare. Toward the host of turning boulders, the chariot was rushing, each one like slingshot stone ferociously at the chariot aimed. The word by Ill was given. With the force of 1,000 heroes, the stream of water was thrust. All right, they get to the asteroid belt. Instead of him shooting a nuclear weapon at it, he got something that he had built on his ship where they could shoot water at it and get the same result.
That's tight. So meaning you don't have to worry about hitting nothing, accidentally destroying something.
Right. Yeah, see, that water would do more of a pushing it out of the way than breaking it up.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, one by one the boulders turned face, a path for the chariot they were making. But as one boulder fled, another in its stead was attacking. A multitude beyond count was the number. A host for the splitting of Tiamat, revenge seeking. Again and again, ear the commands gave. The water thrusted to keep a whirring. Again and again, toward the host of boulders, streams of water were directed. Again and again, the boulders, their faces turned. A path for the chariot making, and then at last the path was clear. Unharmed, the chariot could continue. A cry of joy the heroes sounded. Double was the joy as the sight of the sun was now unveiled. Amidst the elation, Anzu sounded the alarm, for the path to have fashioned excessive waters were consumed. Waters to feed the chariot's fiery stones for the remaining journey were not sufficient.
Okay. So break that down for me about the waters of the chariot's fire were not sufficient.
Is this evidence that this spacecraft was fueled by water? Because that's what he's saying. They ain't got enough water to feed the engine. See, the fiery stones is what they call their engine. Like we have on these big old, like we have on these big passenger jets with the big old engines. Just imagine engines probably 4 or 5 times that size running off water.
Which again, they're just now starting to claim and allegedly say that they could run motor vehicles off of water.
Yeah. If you can run a spaceship off water, you can run a vehicle off water.
And they've been suppressing that technology for the longest, that and magnetic, but that's a totally different subject.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. All right, in the dark darkness, the sixth planet they could see, the sun's rays it reflected. Ea tells Anzu there is water on Lamu/Mars.
Mars.
I guess that killed that little deal on it. That killed that little funny.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah. You know, they've been trying all this. They've been saying all this, playing around with this thing forever. What's their life on Mars? What's their water?
Right.
Okay.
Trying to front. And they just pointed their little device there and clearly said on Lamu, which is Mars, there's water.
Yeah. That's why they made that had their way station on that planet, because they had water.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, because that's the closest to us, so that would be a perfect place to. That's the rest stop. That's
that's
the
pit stop.
Right, that's the truck stop where you go on and get your little gas and you know get your little snacks and stuff.
Yeah. Is that where we get the idea of a way station, though? Because it's at the way station for these big trucks. You see what I'm saying?
As soon as you said that, I thought about the way stations, you know, the
because you always have a way station next somewhere in the vicinity of a rest stop.
Exactly.
On the highway.
This is real interesting.
Yeah.
Really, really interesting.
Yeah. So Anzu orbits the planet to test its gravitational pull and determines it will be an easy landing. Now, here's how the planet is described. The sight to behold was Lamu. Many-hued it was. Snow white was its cap. Snow white were its sandals. Reddish hued was its middle, and in its midst lakes and rivers were glitter. Anzu set the spacecraft down beside a lake to refill. While refilling, they checked the surroundings and tested the water and the air. The water was drinkable, but the air was insufficient. Now, is this real truth that there's water on Mars?
And they's going to sit up and try to tell us, like Grandma used to say, this bald-faced ass lie.
Yeah. Their findings were recorded in the Chariot Annals, describing the need for the detour. All right, here's the question right here. Is this the origin of a pilot or a driver's logbook? Because they're logging all this stuff.
That's like truckers have to log their little miles and all of that.
Is this where we learned this from?
That's interesting. That's really interesting. I never would have picked that up until you said it. Very interesting.
I'm telling you that why I tell you, man, read this thing here. You can't just breathe through because you'll miss all this stuff right here that's telling you where we got all the technology and everything. It's off the chain. All right, the next encounter is the destination, and as they depart Lamu, they can see Ki, which is Earth, and her companion Kingu, as she was making the moon, as she was making a circuit. Anzu tells Ea that they must slow down because of the thickness of Earth's atmosphere, as he responds by suggesting Anzu make slow orbits around the moon. As they circle the moon, they see the scars it suffered at the hands of Nibiru in the celestial battle. Hold on. See, they always want to say that the moon is beat up because of asteroids and all that been hitting it over the years. He got beat up a long time ago. You can still see the scars on it.
And you sure can see those scars. Now, here's something else. I'm finna just, throw my little half a cent in there and just shake it up a little bit. So now when you said that they said that her atmosphere is dense.
Yeah, it's thicker.
It's
yeah.
thicker. Do
it's
you
thicker.
think they were referring to the density of water?
Yeah, that's what they're talking about, because our atmosphere is made of water. Theirs wasn't.
Okay, see, let me give you a clap on that, because, see, you just so on the same page of what a sister is. Because you try to tell the average person that it's all just different density levels of water, and they look at you like you're so crazy. Because even I think when Brother Savan or Seven was here, he even said, the air that we're breathing is still a form of water. It's just a different density.
Yeah. That's true.
Yep. Okay. I just want to throw that out there to get the family to start thinking what we're bringing to you, and that would make sense why, if you think about it, why Alelu Nem had the little swimsuits on or diver suits on. It's the different densities of the atmosphere, which is really just AKA water. So I'm going to let you pick up where you left off, brother.
All right, we're getting to an excerpt right here where Ea and the heroes splashed down on Earth. Oh, I think I missed them. When he came down here with him, he brought a crew of 50. He brought a crew of 50 heroes with him. That's what they call them, heroes.
Okay.
And 50 is the rank of Enlil.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So you can see Daddy set the whole thing up.
He had a nice little setup though.
Yeah. Daddy behind the whole thing. See, he'll tell them, he'll let them have what they need to come, but when it comes to the crew, he makes them decisions. Because see, Enlil, although he was not the elder son, he was the firstborn of the king and his spouse.
Right.
So that made him the legal heir. So that made his rank higher than that of Ea/Enki.
Enki.
His rank was 50, so his dad is doing everything based on the ranks of his son.
As he should have. I mean, okay.
Yeah. All right. Here goes the description that they splashed down on Earth. Snow hue was 2/3 of the planet. Dark hue was its middle. They could see the oceans, they could see the firm lands, or the signal beacon from Alelu they were searching. When an ocean touched dry land, where 4 rivers were swallowed by marshes, Alelu's signal was beacon. Hold on. Now, let's explain these 4 rivers right here.
Yes, please do.
We know there is Euphrates and the Tigris in that area. Way back when, there was 2 more rivers that came in there, in that same area. Now, there is a sort of little dispute about the Garden of Eden being in that area versus the area up around near Mount Ararat, because there's still 4 rivers that include those 2 that's in that area at this point.
Now let me ask you this. Now I'm finna play the little troublemaker right here. So now, was this before Pangea?
We don't know.
Okay.
That's what we. This was so far back. We don't know.
We don't know. Okay.
We have no idea. See, that's what I always went and looked at old maps while I was reading this book.
Yeah, because I straight pulled up a map.
I looked at several maps and say, well, hell, what was going on at that time? But it's hard to tell.
Yep. Okay, because I pulled up the little Pangea map trying to see the possible rivers that, they could see from above.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Too heavy and large a chariot is for the marshes, Anzu was declaring. So the earth's pulling that too powerful for on dry land to descend it is, Anzu to ill announced. Splash down in the ocean water. So around the planet he made a circle in the chariot with much care to the ocean edge he lowered. The chariot's lungs he filled with air into the waters down the splash, into the depth, it's not sinking. From the speaker a voice was heard. To earth be welcome, Alelu was saying. Now he beaming messages to them while they coming down. He see them coming.
He's sitting chilling.
Yeah. By his beaming words, the direction of his whereabouts was determined. Toward the place Anzu the chariot directed. Floating as a boat, it was upon the waters moving. Soon the wide-ranging ocean narrowed. Dry land on both sides, his guardian appeared. On the left side, brown-hued hills were rising. On the right, mountains to the heaven their heads raised. Okay. Right there in that area of the Persian Gulf. On the left-hand side, this is saying they're coming up from the south.
Okay.
Up from the south, landing at the edge of Persian Gulf. Because on the left-hand side, brown-hued hills will be the sand dunes. On the right-hand side, you got the Zagros mountain ranges. That's what they are describing right here. So if you get your map, you can see what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I just pulled up a map. So say that again of the Persian Gulf.
Yeah, Persian Gulf right there on your right-hand side. You got the Zagros Mountains right there on the right-hand side that runs up down through there, all that whole area up there, all the way down to India and all the way up to almost up to Assyria.
Okay, I'm with you now. I see where you at. Yes.
Yeah. But see, the way they explain the brown hue hills, you ain't got nothing over there but the Arabian Desert.
Okay.
Before you get to the Red Sea and all that over there.
Got you. Okay, I'm with you.
Now there is a few mountains that run down into Ethiopia on the other side of the Red Sea, and that may be what they were explaining because from that area they might look like just hills. You see what I'm saying?
Okay. I gotta go the other way. But okay, I'm going to take your word for it. I don't want to hold it up. I see what you're saying. I see Ethiopia. Okay, that could, because on the other side, that would be Saudi Arabia, and then above it would be Sudan.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, I'm with you. Got you.
All right. Toward the place where Lelu was a chariot moving, floating like a boat on the water. Ahead the dry land was covered with flood, marshes, the ocean were replaced. And Anzu to the hero's command ordered their fishing suits to put on, he ordered. A hatch of the chariot was then opened. Into the marshes they descended. Strong ropes to the chariot they attached. With ropes the chariot they were pulling. As Lelu being words more powerful were coming, hurry, he was said at the edge of the marshes, a sight that was to behold. Gleaming in the sun rays was a chariot from the Biru. Lelu's celestial boat it was. The heroes, their paces quickened toward the Lelu chariot. They heard, impatient, he had done his fishing suit. Within his chest, his heart was like a drum beating. Into the marshes he jumped toward his head, hearing steps he directed. High were the marshes flooding. Deeper was the bottom than he expected. He changed his gait to swimming. With bold strokes forward he advanced. At dry land he was approaching green meadows he could see. Then his feet touched firm ground. He stood up and walked and continued. All ahead he could see Lelu standing with his hands with vigor waving, coming out of the water, a short ill step. On dark-hued earth he was standing.
Alelu toward him, came running. His son by marriage, they hugged. They said, hello, welcome to a different planet. Now, that's why they had the fisher suit. Because when they landed on the planet, they always expected to land in the water.
Right.
So they didn't know if they were going to end up having to swim or whatnot. So they always had their little fisher suit with them, their little diving suit.
I noticed that. Now, I'm finna play the little advocate here. Now, I'm going to use your little term, Brother Wendell. I could be wrong as
1,000 left shoes.
Yeah, I was going to use 75, but we could go with 1,000. I'm just playing a little troublemaker here tonight. So you were saying, you were describing them landing in the Persian Gulf. It could have been Ethiopia, or it could have been just on the other side of that, like India, Pakistan. Now, what sparked my interest when you said that they landed in the marshes?
Yeah.
Now, moi, personally, when I think of marshes, I always think of like Louisiana and them, Florida and them, like the Gulf of Mexico area. So could it just be possible, maybe, that they landed on this side?
It's always possible.
Mm-hmm.
The only problem with that here, we ain't got no artifacts over here that say that, and we ain't got no iridu over here.
Yeah, so I'm just playing the little advocate here, saying,
yeah, but that's
probably
possible.
wrong as 1,000.
But that's possible, though. Don't think I ain't gonna look at the maps and see what hell. They could have been over here.
Sure could have, easily. When they said the marshes, I'm like, whoa, wait up, hold up. It's a lot of marshes on the coast over here.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, brother, I'm done being wrong as 1,000 left shoes.
Yeah, but that's very possible, though. All right, now they on Earth, and they're making their way to the land, and everybody's bound to a Lelu. And Anzu was the last one to leave the spacecraft. That's a good question right there. Anzu was the pilot and the commander of the spaceship.
Mm-hmm.
He was the last one to leave the ship. Is that why these sea captains get the idea of letting everybody out of the ship and he stay on it?
That's a good point.
The captain got to stay with the ship. See, all these concepts came from somewhere.
Exactly. You got to make sure his passengers get off safe.
Yeah. So, as everybody gets out of the ship, then Anzu come off the ship, and everybody is bowing down to Alelu because they didn't got word that he gonna be the king on Earth. So everybody bowing to him.
Right.
And if you're noticing this, Eo, that's what he was called at that time, Eo. But that's who he is, Enki. He get on a power trip.
He ain't even been on there 5 damn minutes.
He just got there. He get on a power trip. And said this is what he said. I'm commander here on Earth.
You see what I'm saying? See, why our people always got to bring ego in it? Now, Alelu on here, on Key, minding his MF business, and here, Westface just stepped off of there, and now he going to come up out of a bag on the man and want to take over already.
But he's been here 7,200 years by himself, though. You see what I'm saying?
And I know he looks like I could.
But you want to come and take over, you know?
Exactly. See, we ain't gonna be right. We just not going to be right.
That's a mess. Oh man, I had to go ahead with the exit right here because he continued his little power trip. On a life or death mission we have come. In our hands is Nibiru's fate. He looked about for a place for encampment. He was searching. Heap up soil, mounds fashioned here. He gave command and encampment to set up. To a place not afar he was pointing, a reed hut abode by Alelu erected. To Anzu then words he directed, to Nibiru words by Balaam delivered. To the king, my father, Anu, successful arrival announced. Okay, he on a little power trip. He want to get everybody away from Alelu so they don't be bound to him. He command everybody to start setting up a camp and tells Anzu to say word to the daddy that we have arrived. So he's getting everybody busy. Yeah, he's getting everybody's attention off of Alelu.
So disrespectful. I mean, really.
All right. Soon after that, after he finished his little power trip, the color of the sky was changing from brightness to reddish. And then the Iberians were frightened because they had never seen a sunset. Wait a minute.
Okay. Go ahead. I know where you're going with it.
Is that implying that they never had the sun go down on it?
The sun never sets for them.
They enjoy daylight all the time.
And see, now I'm going to have to go to the tablets real quick. And, I wish Oracle Tahuti could have joined us tonight. Because
that's going to bring it to the Bible, too.
Yeah, okay. So let me get the tablets and you give the Bible its explanation. Because the tablets, Dr. York, and it's the El Holy tablets, y'all, he put literally a drawing of Nibiru's sons, plural, and there were 3. So they had the 2 little ones that's like diagonal, and then they had the one big one. And so supposedly they were orbiting around them, and that's why they never saw a sunset. So that makes sense with what Stitchin is saying in the Book of Enki. So, okay. I yield, brother.
You know that book says when there's a new heaven and new earth, someday there won't be no darkness.
Oh, hell to the no.
Is that where that come from?
Wow. So would also explain, as we opened up the show and we were talking on the news about them talking about this quote other exoplanet that they found with the 2-3 suns, and then I was saying, they're lying because we've seen some people have seen the 2 suns. I know I've personally seen the 2 suns, and some people have reported seeing 3 and some more than the 3. So I never put it together until what you said, that's probably what that passage means out of the Bible, that there will come a time when there would be no darkness.
Yeah. That could go on a spiritual level, it could go on a physical level.
Right. It could be spiritual or physical. Mm-hmm.
Could be both.
Could be.
And guess what? You remember at the end of one of those Matrix movies, the sun came out, and they was real happy about that because it wasn't going to be no more darkness.
Yes. I think, wasn't that the last one where he, jumped over the horizon, or no?
No, that was.
I can't remember.
I think it was the second one.
Okay.
I think it was on Reloaded.
Okay. Now I'm going to have to go back and watch that. But okay.
Yeah. All right. They thought a great calamity was about to happen. And Lelu laughed at them and reassured them by educating them that was only the marking of the ending of one day. Is this the origin of what the Bible says in Genesis, that the evening and the morning was a new day?
Oh, so are you indicating that you think Alelu kind of named it that?
No. It just happened like that. I was just asking the question.
Okay.
I was just asking the question to get you to thinking, so this is what comes out of the book. This is thousands of years older than the book.
Millions. But
so is this the true origin of that? We don't know. I'm just pointing it out.
Putting it out there. Yeah. I'm with you.
Yeah. All right, so he let them know they should lie down and get a quick rest because the night goes by pretty quick.
That's interesting.
That's another question right there. Is this evidence that they splash down during the summertime when the days are longer, the nights are shorter?
Got you. Makes sense.
Right.
Makes sense.
That's just a question. You can't.
And then it would be good weather for them, right?
Yep.
Okay,
right.
I'm with you.
Darkness came quickly that night, and there was a thunderstorm. The crew of heroes huddled in the chair all night, and they were agitated and wasn't getting any rest, and they were happy when sunrise came. Now the heroes were experiencing their first day on Earth. That might have just proved that little point right there. That that was the first day. The evening and the morning was a new day.
Got you. And so that's where the documentation from the biblical side came into play, is what you're saying.
Right. Very possible. I ain't saying it is.
Right.
I was just asking a question. I can't believe I did what I did.
You lost your place?
No, I didn't lose my place. I had matched up, because see, now we're getting into the days of creation.
Oh, hell no. I see where you're going with this.
That's where we're at. And I had matched them up with...
I see where you're going with this. You had matched them up with the biblical version of it?
I have matched him up with that and didn't say the darn thing and erased it.
You want me to bring up the Genesis then? I can bring it up. Okay.
I had the darn thing in here too. But anyway, we'll know what it is when we read it. All right, now the heroes will experience the first day on Earth. Enki begins setting things in order by giving heed to separate the waters from the waters.
Okay, so I had to pull up Genesis anyway, because that's
Go ahead and pull it up. Go ahead and pull it up.
That's just how we run. Okay. And then, now, family, I'm in Genesis 1. That's just how we roll. This how Truth Uncompromised roll. Okay, so I'm in Genesis 1, verse 6. It says, "Then God said, let there be a space between the waters to separate the waters of the heaven from the waters of the earth." And that is what happened. God made this space to separate the waters of the earth from the waters of the heaven. God called the space sky. Wow.
All right. The second thing he did was Enbilulu was placed in charge of the marshlands to mark out the reeds. The third thing, Enkidu was placed in charge of making a boundary of the marshes by digging ditches and building dikes to separate rainwater from the marsh waters. And it was evening, and it was morning. The second day on Earth it was.
Okay, so stop right there. So at the end of the first chapter, 6th verse, the last verse in the last sentence in the 6th verse is, "And evening passed and morning came, marking the second day." Boom. Go ahead, brother.
All right. So on the second day, Alelu and Ea and Isimu, which was Enki's advisor, went to the place of grass and trees. Is this referring to the Garden of Eden again? To examine all that was growing in the orchards. Isimu could distinguish one fruit from the other. All right. So on the second day, they put Guru in charge of the food that grows.
Okay.
And
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All right. And it was evening, and it was morning. The third day on earth it was.
Okay. So now we in verse 9. And it says, then God said, let the waters beneath the sky flow together in one place so dry ground may appear. And that is what happened. God called the dry ground land and the water seas. And God saw that it's good, and let the land sprout with vegetation, every sort of seed-bearing plant, and trees that grow seed-bearing fruit. These seeds will then produce the kind of plants and trees from which they came. And that is what happened. The land produced vegetation, all sorts of seed-bearing plants and trees with seed-bearing fruit. Their seed produced plants and trees of the same kind, and God saw that it was good. Wow. I didn't even know you were going to go there tonight, tying the two together.
Yeah. Now, like I said, I had all the Bible verses matching up with it out for some reason.
That's okay. You keep reading that. I'm going to match them up.
All right. Now we something happened right here. You got to ask the question, because now it says, all right, at the end of that it says, and it was evening, it was morning, the third day on earth it was. Then it goes to the fourth day. So did they do that for 2 days? But we're going to get the answer right here. No winds were blowing and the water was still. Enki commands the heroes to bring tools from the chariot and build a camp. Wait a minute.
Okay.
They bringing tools from the ship to build a camp. What kind of tools do they have, man?
True that. And what kind of camp are they building?
All right, here go the fifth thing they did. Kulu was placed in charge of making clay bricks. Mush Damu was placed in charge of laying foundation to build dwelling places. It was sunny all day, and that night was a full moon. Kingo cast a pale light on earth. And it was evening, and it was morning. The fifth day on earth it was. All right?
Okay.
The next, on the fifth day, Ningasig was commanded to build a reed boat to measure the marshes so that they would have an idea of the stretch of the swampland. Umarsh had great knowledge of fish and fowl, knowing the good from the bad. And Belulu was brought in to make a barrier separating fish from fish. He also built a net to trap the birds that were good for food. And it was evening, and it was morning. The sixth day on earth it was. Okay, go into the scripture. You'll see that in there.
Okay, so that's interesting, because I'm like, now, where are you going with that? Okay, so I'm in the first chapter. I'm at the 24th. So I'm starting after the fifth day, Brother Wendell?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is verse 24, and it says, then God said, let the earth produce every sort of animal, each producing offspring of the same kind, livestock, small animals that scurry along the ground, and wild animals. And that is what happened. God made all sorts of wild animal, livestock, and small animal, each able to produce offspring of the same kind, and God saw that it was good. So in the scripture,
you went a little too far.
Okay, so you want me back up to the...
Back up a little bit where he talked about the fish and the fowl.
Okay, yep. So I need to go up to 20. So my bad, family. This is verse 20. Then God said, let the water swarm with the fish and other life. Let the skies be filled. Yep, there it go. Damn it, there it goes. Sorry, y'all. Let the water swarm with fish and other life. Let the skies be filled with birds of every kind. So God created great sea creatures and every living thing that scurries and swarms in the water. and every sort of bird, each producing offspring of the same kind. And God saw that it was good. Then God blessed them, saying, be fruitful and multiply. Let the fish fill the seas, and let the birds multiply on the earth. Wow.
Yeah. All right. Here's the ninth event. Annunaki was placed in charge of taking account of that which creeps and that which walks on feet.
Okay,
and the
so
ferocity,
I got ahead of myself. Okay.
Yeah, and the ferocity of their wildness. Ea calls Kulu and Mushdamu and commands them to have the dwelling places completed by eve time and a fence for protection surrounding the orchards. Anzu brings a beam that kills from the chariot and set up a speaker that words beams. Now, by eve time, the camp was complete, and the heroes gathered therein for the night. Ea and the Layla Anzu, the doings considered, all that was done indeed was good, and it was evening, and it was morning, seventh day.
Dang. So I'm going to reread this, family. My bad. That was me for getting ahead of it. So now I'm at the 24th verse. This is the first chapter of Genesis. Then God said, let the earth produce every sort of animal, each producing offspring of the same kind, livestock, small animals that scurry along the ground, and wild animals. And that is what happened. God made all sorts of wild animal, livestock, and small animals, each able to produce offspring of the same kind. And God saw that it was good. Wow.
So they had to build them a camp to protect themselves from the wild animals. And
they knew how to separate that camp based on the species.
Right.
That was already on Earth, right?
Yeah. See, they had knowledge of everything that was already here. And they had somebody. They had somebody with them that knew everything about these creatures. Now, when they built the camp, Anzu go back to the ship and get a beam that kills and a speaker that beams words. In other words, they have some kind of gun to protect themselves from the wild beasts, and some kind of communications device. A speaker that beams words.
Right.
And something, it could be something like a megaphone or something like that.
Yeah,
we don't know.
That's what I'm thinking about, but who knows what it was? Because, obviously their technology was much more sophisticated if they coming down separating animals and fish and separating waters.
Yeah. All right.
And notice it was multiple of them doing this, right? But in the scriptures, it's making it like it's just one being.
Yeah. Well, you could say it was one doing it because he was instructing everybody and putting everybody in place. He was in charge of it.
Okay, that's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good
point. He was managing. We'll just put it like that.
He was the manager. Got you. Wow.
Yeah. In other words, he was indexing everything.
Taking inventory.
Right.
Putting things in order.
Right.
I tell you.
You got things that were going on. We don't even know how long ago this was. It's happening right now. All right. Here's an excerpt. Establishment of the Sabbath. On the seventh day, the heroes in the encampment were assembled. To them, Ea spoke these words. A hazardous journey we have undertaken from the Nibiru to the seventh planet, a dangerous way we've traversed. At Earth, we, with success, arrive. Much good we attain, and encampment we establish. Let this day be a day of rest, the seventh day.
hereafter a day of resting, always to be. Let this place henceforth by the name Eridu be called, home in the far away. The meaning thereof will be, let a promise be kept, let a later of Eridu, the commander, be declared. Now listen to this mess right here. Listen to this mess right here. Before he come to the planet, he wanted Lelu to be the king of Earth. Now he done reduced him down to let him be the commander of Eridu.
Sure did. See how the drama sets in? Because Lelu was chilling there for, you said, 7,200 years. Minding his so-and-so business. And they come down, separate the little bodies of water, put the little animals in their place, and they set up the structure of how we would track time. Because he said, let this be the seventh day of rest. Wow.
Yeah. So everybody agreed to that, and of course Lelu agreed to it, but he wasn't really too hot about that. So let Ea a second name be given. They call him Nudimu, the artful fashioner. In unison, the heroes' agreement announced, and it was evening and it was morning, the seventh day. After the camp in Eridu was established, Ea/Enki/Nudimu started working on getting the gold out of water. And he set up a system using the power of the chariot's engines. That which water sucks and that which spits out, and a vessel of crystals to extract all the metals from the water.
Wow.
In the vessels thereon was iron, copper, and other metals, and very little gold. This goes on 6 days for 2 earth weeks. And he decides how to gauge their progress. Now, hold on. They're using the ship itself.
Exactly. To extract it.
To extract the gold from the water using a crystal filter.
That's interesting. Now, family, I didn't forget to keep reading the Bible stuff, but to show you how stuff has been taken out, the Bible then starts going into after I read about the livestock, this, that, and the third. It goes into 26 about the creation of, quote, quote, human beings. But in the Book of Enki, it talks about they going to extract this gold. Now, because I know what happened from the El Holy Tablets perspective and Terra papers, I know in both of those mythologies, when the creation of man or human beings come into play, it's going to be later down the line. And the reason for that creation, you're going to find out why. So, okay, Brother Wendell, we at 9:30. I know we threw a lot of information at the people. You want to use this as a stopping point so we can open up the Q&A to let people put something on it?
Yeah, let them put something on it.
Okay, hold on a second. All right, family, I'm going to open up the queue. Okay, so press *6 to come in the queue if you want to put something on it. If we don't get anybody coming in the queue, I'm going to have Brother Wendell continue for another 30 minutes. So press *6 to come in the queue. Okay, Brother Wendell, so in 2 calls, start lining up or whatever. So continue on. So the spaceship comes down. I mean, they use the spaceship to start extracting the gold.
Right. They got some kind of contraption. They got hooked up in that thing where they're sucking the water up in one side. It's going through like a crystal filter. Mm-hmm. And the crystals are separating the material and shooting the water back out on the other side. That's a heck of a gold mine operation floating.
Yeah, it is.
Now, like I said, this goes on for 6 days or 2 Earth weeks. And then Enki decide how to gauge their progress. And this is where I got an excerpt right here where he established the Earth month and the Earth year. In the night times, the moon waxed and waned. By the 9th month, the ear its circuit called. At month's very start, its luminous horns 6 days signified. By its half crown, the 7th day it announced a day terrestrial was. At midnight, by fullness was the moon distinguished. Then it paused to become diminished. With the sun's course was the moon's circuit appearing. With Earth's circuit, it was its phase revealing. Fascinated by the moon's motions was Ea. Its attachment, as Kingu to Ki, he contemplated. What purpose did the attachment serve? What heavenly sign was it giving? A month did Ea, the moon's circuit, call. Month to its circuit he gave the name. For 1 month, for 2 months, in the chariot where the water separated. The sun, every 6 months, to earth another season gave. Winter and summer did Ea by names them call. There was winter and there was summer. By year of earth did Ea the full circuit call. That's where we get those terms from.
That's really interesting. Now,
I haven't seen anything else that describe that.
Because we already determined how we came up with the year. The year is based on their 1 shar, which is 3,600, and you said somebody 1/10 of a shar. They broke down the 3,600 1/10 of a shar to get the 360, which is the 360 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm with you, brother.
All right. By the end of the year, accounts for gold accumulated, and there was not much to send. So, seeing that the current position of the chariot was in more shallow water, he moved it back to deeper water, and it works, and they started getting more gold. Now, when the chariot was untied from its original position, it was described as being untied from its moorings.
From its what? Moorings?
Yeah. Is this the true origin of the term moor?
Moor. Which we know that moor means anchor, right?
Moor means tied to the land.
Hell to the no. I done got up off of my bomb sign, y'all, so my bad. I'm going to have to manually do the bomb sign. So that's where it came from. Wow.
Is that the origin of that terminology? Moor. Tied to the land.
So hold on a second. You have a caller, brother. So this is 907. So let me. Okay, 907. 907, your line is open.
Oh, shalom. How you doing? I'm back again.
Greetings.
Greetings. Yes. Any way that you could text me that knowledge, that information of research? That's beautiful, wonderful, and I'm looking forward to the 3 days. Yes. Oh, yeah.
Well, you know we read from the Book of Enki, right? By Zachariah Stitchin.
Book of Enki, Zachariah Stitchin. Okay, I have to try to look it up. Okay, book it home. Oh boy, I got to grab my stuff and man, nice.
It's a popular book. I didn't know it was this deep, though. Go ahead, brother Wendell.
Hey, look here. Look. Who is that? Who is that calling?
I usually get through on Dr. Henderson. Show. I've been paying attention to the calls, and I've been following. His brother Dayrock from up here in Alaska.
Oh wow! Okay.
Alaska, wow. Hey,
I know, look, that's pretty cool.
This is what I put out here a couple of weeks ago. When we get through this thing, what I'm going to do is send my notes, because it's 138 pages with maps and links to all the research and everything, because this book is a tough read. And whoever wants this information, you can have it. The work is already done for you. All you got to do is sit there and start clicking on links and go and do your own research, because you can go on for hours and hours and months, and you still won't find out, because there's a ton of information out there spinning off this book that people don't even talk about.
Oh, I trust in y'all. I trust in y'all all the way, brother, and y'all will unlock it. Yeah.
Wow.
Again,
you just stay with us, because it's gonna get deeper and deeper and deeper. I'm telling you.
Salach. May I get the name? May I get the name of it again? I got my pencil and paper now.
Okay, sure. The Book of Enki. ENKI. You tell it, Brother Wendell.
Yeah, it's the Lost Book of Enki by Zechariah Fisher.
Book of Enki.
Yeah. ENKI.
ENKI?
Yeah.
Whoa. ENKI. All right. By Zechariah?
Yeah, Zechariah Fisher.
Stitching?
Yeah, SITCHIN.
Okay. That must. Oh, the Tawada. The Tawada in Barakatea. Thank you for the knowledge.
You're most welcome, brother. Thank you. Peace and love, brother.
Peace and love.
Okay, so you have another call, Brother Wendell. 917. 917, your line is open.
God is love.
Oh, that's Brother Lincoln.
God is love. Lincoln.
How are you, brother?
I ain't giving up on that book on Enki. And there's a lot of knowledge coming from it. What chapter of Enki you were at, my brother?
We're just in the third. I think we're still in the third tablet. We got four. It's a total of 14 tablets plus the attestation of Endipsar, the scribe that wrote this down for him.
Well, I like the way it breaks down the beginning of the book.
Yeah.
The way creation is.
Yes.
And it gave you the information, that if we apply ourselves and really study it and try to understand it more about the creation, we get to understand ourselves more.
Yes.
Because,
right.
I do hope that it make a follow-up in the second chapter of Genesis. Because the second chapter of Genesis is a very formative information. It talks about, the way how a man supposed to really separate himself from his mother and father and find himself a wife to see what the world is coming along with. So, Brother Wendell, your notes are very, very informative, and I would like you to pass it on to me. And Sister Rhonda, may God bless you, and may it open your heart and your mind more to understand what is really taking place upon this earth, okay?
Yes, sir. Indeed,
and I love you very, very much.
No, I love you too, Brother brother.
And stay on the line. Stay on the train line, okay? Don't slip off.
Indeed, Brother Lincoln. I thank you for that. Okay, I love you too, Brother Lincoln.
Peace and love.
Okay, peace and love to you. Oh, that was nice hearing from our beloved Brother Lincoln. He is such a warm brother, and each and every show that we have, and He's always such a great student. And what I like about Brother Lincoln, he takes in the information and he's able to make those connections. He takes it in, he digests it, and he makes those connections. And, that's what all of this is about, because believe it or not, folks, all these different versions floating around, and some of it out there is inaccurate, but it's broken up in so many pieces that really it is all connected. So Brother Lincoln does a pretty good job when he hears us do these different shows, putting together the connections. So I want to thank Brother Lincoln for his love and support. So, okay, Brother Wendell, that was the last call. So now I don't want to get into no heavy stuff. So we're going to start winding down tonight so we can pick up next week with them extracting this gold, and Leo then set up on his behind and demoted poor Elelu, and set up what the weeks was going to be and all of that. So he done already came upon Key and started changing stuff, because Elelu was minding his so-and-so business for 7,200 years. And already in Leo come with some so-and-so drama.
Now, Enki came before in Leo now.
Oh, yeah, my bad. Enki, EA.
Yeah.
Came with some so-and-so drama already. So, excellent job tonight, brother. I am so looking forward to this. So, as long as you want to do it, we're going to stay on it. Now, hopefully, Oracle Tahuti next week, he's going to come in and compliment and bringing in the El Holy Tablets. He's going to refer back as you're going through to El Holy Tablets, and then I'll do my part on any scripture reference that you need to match it up. I'll continue to do that part, because I never would have made that connection until you said something. And it's there plain as day. You can't miss it.
Yep.
That's why they don't want people to read that book. It's plain as day. The Annunaki were the gods they were talking about in Genesis.
Yep.
Wow.
It is what it is.
Wow. And you hear people talk about that all the time. And I just saw something a couple of days ago from one of the master teachers saying that the Anunnaki is also associated with Yahweh, and that's nothing new, because we heard Dr. York say that in the tablets, that actually Yahweh is associated with Anu. And so the take that this particular master teacher was saying that the Anunnaki are really the fallen ones. So I found that pretty interesting, and I know you and I, Brother Wendell, we've talked about that several times, where we're talking about two sets of people. So I can't wait till we even get into that. So
just don't get to it.
I know.
You'll know exactly who is who.
I cannot wait. So we're going to start winding down. I know I saw another caller. I'm sorry. I tried to wait for you, so I saw you drop off. So we're going to wind down. So, Brother Wendell, you want to give some last words to the family?
Hey, come on and get this information, because it's going to get gooder and gooder.
This is priceless. So you're breaking it down for me. So once we go through this, and once you give the notes, then I can go back and read it, because I told you I bought the book. And a sister had to put it down because it took me 1 hour to get through one paragraph. And I said, I got to let Brother Wendell do this. I do not have the time to do this. So we are very, very fortunate that you went through the book with a fine-tooth comb, and you're going to, break it down for the family on the air, plus turn over your notes. That is a very rare treat. So wait a minute, you did get another call come in. Okay, so this is a VOIP. Let me open up the line right quick. Okay, VOIP, your line is open.
Can you hear me okay, Rhonda?
I sure can. Hey, brother, how you doing?
This is Brother Fred, Wendell. Peace and love to both of y'all.
Man? What's happening, man?
Not too much. I'm loving this. It's real deep, and I just want to make sure I put in my bid to get your notes, too.
Yeah, I'll make sure I put them out there once he release them. I'll make sure I put them out there for the family to get it, because you think a sister ain't going to be fiending for the notes my damn self. So, yeah, I'll make sure that everybody get them, because I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, my wife was sitting there next to me. She said, get your popcorn, sit back, and just relax. It's going to be a little while.
Yeah.
We just here to learn. But I wanted to wait toward the end because I didn't want to interrupt you with all the beautiful things that you were saying and explaining. But my question is for either one of y'all because it has to do with something off subject. And I just want to go back to May when I met both of y'all in Charlotte. And there was a video we watched. Early in the morning. And I couldn't remember the name of it because I wanted to play it for some children. Do y'all remember the name of that video or any of the subject matter of the title?
And see, I don't remember because
I don't remember the name of it.
Yeah, because I was out and about busy. I'll try to find that information.
You're a bit late coming in. But I just wanted to know if one of y'all knew what the name of it was. I had sent somebody else a message. They couldn't remember the title either. But you know, when they played it, I had to go up and help them get the machine started. So I know it wasn't a DVD. It was actually coming off the internet.
Okay, yeah, I would have to ask because, again, I was doing so many things that I didn't even get to see the video. So I'll ask and I'll try to get it back to you. Okay,
that's great because we never finished it because the presenter came in and we just got busy. So I'll just leave it at that. But thank you all so much for tonight. I mean, this has been great. We're working right along with y'all side. Y'all be a helpful assistance. We're here for y'all.
Okay. Well, I so much appreciate that, brother. Thank you for your support. And if I find that information out, I will definitely shout it out next week.
Okay. Wait a minute. I think I got one other point. It was
sure thing.
Early in your talk earlier tonight. I think you were talking about the news items, and I just wanted to add something to you. You were talking about the finance news with Brexit. Along with that, if that vote comes out for them to leave, it isn't like something just happens overnight. It actually takes 2 years for it to happen. So they have to break up all the different treaties. All the other countries have to come back together and try to figure out how they're going to handle tariffs, which currency gets used. So it's a 2-year process for that breakup. It just isn't something that just, even though they may vote for it, it'll take 2 years to break them up.
Right. And of course, you know, they're going to try to prolong it as long as they can. But that is a very good point because they have to divvy up the pot per se. So
that's right.
Absolutely right. And so next week, I was so excited to get to Enki. Tonight, I had actually pulled some research for the family just to give them a high-level understanding of what that EU meant. Because, you know, I'm glad that you brought this point up. So that tells me that I do need to go back and share that research because I was kind of shocked to know that not only was it about currency, but it was about land. It's about a couple of different things. And I said, oh, wow, dang, I didn't know all of this was tied to it. So I'm going to go over with the family next week how deep that European Union thing is and why it is such a huge deal.
Right.
Without the treaties, you have zero.
Exactly, because treaties trump everything. And it's interesting that you say that because I remember Prez was overseas somewhere. Don't quote me where he was, and he told people that treaties trump everything. And I think in our particular nation that we keep forgetting that because we've been so brainwashed and bogged down with these U.S. corporation statutes and codes that we're not realizing that the treaties trump everything, which is the reason why all of these groups are popping out of place saying, you know, I'm the new republic this, I'm the sovereign this. So obviously it got to be a reason for them doing it. Could it be perhaps a treaty is not in place?
They don't have the treaty.
There you go.
Right.
There you go. So very good. Thank you for bringing that in. So next week I'll make sure that I go over that EU stuff so the family can see not only are we having our own dramatization over in this nation, but it's happening in Europe as well, and really it's happening all across this planet.
Mm-hmm.
So very, very good input, brother.
Thank y'all, and I yield.
Okay, thank you, brother. Peace and love. All right then, Brother Wendell. So we're going to wind on down. I do want to thank you so much. Did you have anything else you want to say to the family?
Hang tight, keep listening. Hey, quicker we get through this thing, the quicker y'all get these notes.
Well, you know you ain't finna get through it quick because you know we got to every little point go around the corner, up the block, and do this, do that, etc. But I'm just fascinated because you blew my wig back since Sahida's term again when you brought in Genesis. I never would have made that connection. And it's word for word.
It's word for word.
And does that not predate, because Zechariah, did not he say he learned cuneiform, which is the oldest documentation of language on this planet out of the Sumerian tablets? Am I right or am I wrong?
You're right.
Does that not predate the Holy Bible?
That predates all of it.
Okay, so now who got their stories from where? Exactly.
And the thing about it, you go to the British museums and the other museums, and there's still a bunch of it still hadn't been dug up yet.
Oh.
I mean, it's all over the place. There's thousands of those little tablets, and they got a lot of that information is on what you call a cylinder seal. Mm-hmm. It's like a little, and if you can picture in your mind, it's like a small thread spool. No larger than about an inch or so.
Wow, that's deep.
That's why he said he had to take a magnifying glass to read that stuff.
Whoa, that's deep. That's real deep. Well, all right then, family. Y'all heard it here again for the second time. Brother Wendell did his thing. He threw down. So we will be back next week. I promise you, I will be back. I'm not taking a break. I got my schedule back to being adjusted. I got a little rest. So we're going to be back on the Book of Enki, picking up where they extracting this doggone gold. So I do want to thank Brother Wendell again for putting it down. Very, very good job, brother. I'm looking forward to next week. And family, I also want to thank you for joining us tonight and being patient with me as the sister had to get her schedule in order. I do want to thank you for your love and support. It is certainly appreciated and never taken for granted. So just a quick reminder, on Wednesday we have Sister Joan, who is doing Mama Ya, and that is the Feminine Divine. Family, check out Sister Joan because she's throwing a lot of science behind stuff. Just yesterday, her show was on the science of breath. So she's putting a lot of shows together, throwing some pretty heavy metaphysics stuff at you. They also got into some other scientific stuff on her previous shows. So make sure you check her out every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time here on Truth Uncompromised, same dial-in number. And then you can also check out the recordings on our YouTube channel, Truth Uncompromised, .com, and then any other programs on Truth Uncompromised Facebook. So with that said, family, I want to say peace, love, truth, freedom, and justice.
Freedom and justice.
One heart, one mind, one spirit.
One spirit.
And with that, family, I'm going to say nightfall. We're going to rock out with some music. Love you very much. Thank you, Brother Wendell. Love you. You threw down, boy.
Yes, ma'am.